Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike from Spectre Comics here. This is the month of October in 2020. I love October, I love Halloween, and I thought it'd be fun to sprinkle in some Halloween-themed tutorial videos throughout the month. So today we are going to draw Jack Skellington. I'm going to pull out my old sketchbook, dust off the pencils and the pens, and we're going to walk through the process of drawing him step by step. Should be an easy tutorial to follow, so let's get drawing. So I'm drawing on my trusty drawing pad here. Again, it's just white smooth paper. I don't even know what thickness it is, but it's pretty smooth paper. We're going to start Jack by drawing a simple circle and kind of divide the face to get the center of the face, and kind of draw some horizontal lines across the face to get the eye line and the mouth line. And then we're going to draw a quick line for the neck, and then we're going to draw the rib cage and the arm pose. This is going to be a pose from kind of the waist up. Jack's very tall and skinny. He's got a round head and big round eyes, and even though we started with a simple circle, you'll notice that the facial expression he's making kind of shapes his head. His eyes will be really wide, his mouth will be wide open. Going to do a simple wide-eyed, smiling facial expression. He's got simple little nose slits for his skeleton nose, and we're going to give him a nice little grimace that goes from ear to ear, or where ears would be if he had them. So just quickly sketching the facial expression out, and notice I'm drawing and erasing, and again keeping my lines really loose and sketchy around his face, and I'm reshaping the circular face to kind of go in ins and outs, where his eyes kind of project out, or where his brow would project out, and where his smile would kind of extend around. And in this case, his mouth is going to be closed, so it's going to be pretty close to a circle for his head. We're going to start drawing his chest, and he wears a black suit, pinstripe suit with lapels, so we're kind of just he's got, in the pose he's in, his jacket's a little bit open, and we're just kind of drawing the lapels of his jacket and then his shoulders, and we're not even going to really see most of his arms and his hands or anything like that. It's really going to be kind of like a portrait from the waist up. Going to put a little more detail in his mouth, showing his teeth, the teeth that are on his skull head, and I'm going to just start thickening and filling out the lines of his arms. He wears a bow tie. The center of the bow tie is a cat's head, so we're going to kind of shape the cat's head, get the cat's eyes and mouth, and then the little ears in. Again, I'm drawing really sketchy, but cleaning up as I go, and kind of once I find the line that I exactly want, I'll clean that up around the line to get rid of all the sketchy lines. We're extending the bow tie out. The bow tie is basically just an extended ribbon on each side. No specific shape or pattern here. We're just kind of extending it out. It does have kind of like a forked tooth end on both ends of the tie, and they do extend past his shoulders, so keep note of that. And then anywhere we're drawing something on top, we're erasing what's below, so his shoulders, erasing his shoulders. We're going back and kind of tracing his eyes out, and we'll fill that in, and I'm just cleaning up the shape of his eyes to get him exactly where I want him. Again, we're not really copying anything specific here. Did find an internet picture of Jack in this pose, but I'm kind of just using it as a guideline of where his body shapes are, and kind of like how his head shape is, and his eyes and nose and mouth. But generally, I'm not really trying to copy the picture, more as just understanding what parts of his body are where, just to kind of make sure you get it right. We're going for accuracy here, so you just want to make sure you draw Jack so he looks like Jack. So we're just tracing out the rest of his head, and again, I'm kind of massaging the circle so that it, as his face shape changes, there's going to be ins and outs. You start with a basic circle, but then you kind of massage it to get the eyebrow, and the eye projects up past the top of the head. The more open eye. He's got one eye that's a little more squinty. You'll also notice that I turn the page. I always talk about, in our drawing tutorials, I always talk about being able to draw down and towards yourself, because that way you can stick the palm of your the heel of your hand can stick on the page, and you're able to have more pen control. So when I need to, I turn the page so I can draw downwards towards myself. It really helps, especially if you're drawing a curved area where you can plant your hand on the paper and then have a lot more pencil control to draw towards yourself. Again, just still filling in a little more detail, thickening the lines. I've got almost everything where I want it, so I'm finalizing the pencil lines and then erasing all of the guidelines that I drew initially when we started laying out the character. So we're finishing the jacket, the lapel, and all of the extra sketchy lines are getting erased as we go, and it's starting to really come together. Jack does wear a black pinstripe suit. I'm not going to draw the black, but we'll draw the lines of the pinstripes just to give his suit a little texture and detail. So we're starting in the bow tie and then going down the lapels and working towards the sleeves of the jacket. And you'll notice the direction that all the pinstripes are going. And again, this is just to add a little more detail into the jacket and a little more texture to the drawing. Now we're going to go with some inking pens. I'm using a couple of different inking pens. I'm using a Prismacolor Premier 0.8 thickness, which is a pretty thick line weight pen. And the reason I'm using a pen this thick is because I'm drawing such a close-up portrait of Jack. I don't need as much detail, so I want the lines to be pretty thick. I'm also using a thicker, this is not really an inking pen, this is it's a Pentel sign pen. I like these pens because they got a very thick edge, and when they're brand new, they've got a very pointy edge, so you can get a very thick line, but a very precise line with it. The more you use them, they tend to flare out, so you got to have a lot of them. I don't use them that much, but in this case, I thought it was appropriate because the lines were, I wanted the lines to be a lot thicker. So I'm actually using it pretty heavily in this drawing to draw all the thick outlines of everything, and I also used it to fill in the eyes to get the black eye sockets of Jack. He doesn't really have eyeballs as he is a skeleton. He is the Pumpkin King, as after all. So Jack outlining his suit. I'm not even going to draw the pinstripes with pen. I'm just going to leave that on pencil. We're doing the inking the bow tie now. I'm using the thinner pen to get a little more detail, the cat's eyes and ears on the bow tie, and filling in the lines, tracing around my pencil sketch. Again, once you get into the inking portion of this, you want your lines to be a lot more precise and a lot more final. We're done with the sketchy. That's why we do the pencil sketch first, so you can be sketchy and you can erase. Now that we're using pens, you want to be very precise with your lines. I also should mention that I used I always draw with a mechanical pencil. I used a 0.7 thickness HB lead. It's a softer lead, so it gives you a little bit of you can smear it, and if you do tend to smear it, don't forget you can put a piece of paper under your palm, under your hand, so that you don't smear the drawing as the pencils as you're drawing other lines in other areas of the drawing. So now we're going and we're just outlining the outside. I really want to give a thicker outline to Jack Skellington here, just to kind of I always talk about line weights give you a little bit of depth and kind of highlight the detail within the drawing. So I like to go around the edge of the outside of the drawing and thicken up the lines a bit and add some line weights where possible. So we're getting pretty close to finishing the drawing. Jack Skellington for your first Halloween video of the year. And here's the final drawing. I just put a little orange background on the back to give it a little Halloween color and flair. Again, his suit is black pinstripe, but I didn't fill in the black because I don't have enough ink for that. If I was doing this on my tablet, I probably would have filled it in and gave him a white pinstripe suit. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed following along with this How to Draw Jack Skellington step-by-step tutorial video. We're going to do other characters from this show. Probably do Zero next. We'll probably do Sally. We might do Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Definitely going to do Oogie Boogie. And I'm also going to look at drawing some other Halloween fun stuff throughout the month. So we'll sprinkle we'll sprinkle in some how to draw Halloween characters and Halloween themes for the month of October. October's my favorite month, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, so I enjoy adding a little bit of holiday theme to this month of YouTube videos. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up on the video if you liked it. Go ahead and let me know if you have characters you want me to draw for Halloween, and we'll draw them together, and we'll do a step-by-step. And that's it. Have a nice day. We'll see you next time.